What's up guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we will be discussing influential games along with playing Rouge Company 2, which is a third person shooter game which I've played off camera. I've had a little bit of fun with it, so I'm looking forward to playing it for you now, as well as chatting to you guys about influential games that I've played during my lifetime. We've all probably had those sort of games that, you know, meant some sort of significance to us, played a part in a significant friendship that we had, or have just given us a deeper appreciation for the certain games that we played and genre of games that we played. So I'm going to go through some of mine that have really kind of given me a step hold within what I have enjoyed about gaming, and also just personal stuff as well that, you know, these games have led towards too. And we're going to do it to the backdrop of Rouge Company. We'll see how well I do. Hopefully I won't make an embarrassment out of myself, but it should be all good. And if you do make it to the end of the video, please remember to hit that like button and also leave your comments below. Let me know your thoughts, let me know your kind of experiences with certain games that have really left an impression on you, and also give me suggestions for future topics to talk about, as well as future games to play too. But without further ado guys, let's get right into it. So the first game, as I've just chosen my character to play with, that kind of really influenced me or had left a lasting impression, was the first game my dad ever bought for me, which was on PC, and it was Sonic CD. Big thing about Sonic at the time was, like, everyone knew about Sonic, everyone loved Sonic. There was like cartoons on the TV about Sonic, and he was just like cool, you know, at the time, like super cool. And for me to officially get my first game and it be this game was actually really fun. I thoroughly enjoyed playing it. Remember that at the time, as a kid, it was one of the hardest games I ever played at that point in time. I struggled with certain levels for the longest time, but then once I got through past them, those particular hard levels, it was like the best thing ever. I think it was also the first introduction to Metal Sonic as well, which was pretty crazy at the time. Like, never really like came across Metal Sonic before, and he was in that game. And just trying to defeat Eggman as well was just like hard. Really hard. There was like so many different layers to that game, you know, like the way that you could kind of end up changing to like a different kind of place altogether, like ending up into a different dimension, and you had to try and destroy certain things in order to make things better and all that sort of stuff. But like, it was like really good. So it was a lot of fun. So, oh, I just got caught there. I'm gonna have to think about this. Come on. Yeah, so it's like really cool.
Find it and defuse it.
So yeah, that was actually really cool to just kill that guy. And you know, like, even like, I just remember like little quirky things about it. Like, if you collected 100 coins or more, you jump through a big hoop at the end of a thing, and it would just be like good stuff like that, you know. So it's actually like pretty sick. So it's like stuff like that was like really cool about that particular game that I really loved. So yeah, it's like little stuff like that which I found like really amazing and thoroughly enjoyed. I don't think we're going to win this one. Oh man, word, just got taken down. I have to concentrate at the same time as trying to talk to you guys. It's not easy. Yeah, oh, I just died.
Regroup and try again.
Yeah, just like, then if you did that, jumping through the big giant hoop at the end, you'd then end up into like some kind of like special mini section where you had to destroy little things and stuff like that. Like, it was all really good stuff and just a lot of fun to play. And the second game that kind of influenced me, and this was actually quite a big moment, this is when I decided, like, I proper fell in love with gaming, right? And ironically, it's going to be a really strange game, and everyone's going to be like, what the hell, how could you fall in love with that game? Why did that game make you fall in love with gaming in general? And it's a game on the PlayStation, and it was called WWF SmackDown 2 Know Your Role. And for me, that was like the best game ever. Like, when I was a kid, it was just crazy how good that game was, how much I enjoyed playing that game. I'd literally just start season mode just so I could be Stone Cold Steve Austin. It was mad. It was so mad. Like, I would just play up to, what was it, Backlash to unlock him, and then after I unlocked him, I would just be I would just be oh, I just got another guy down. I would just be playing that game, and then I would then restart season mode just so I could oh, I think we should be alright here, right? Where are we? I don't know. Oh,
The bomb has been spotted.
just so I could then start a brand new season with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Bomb defused.
It was crazy, and just like the animations, the whole arcade gameplay of the entire game was just, I just loved it, and I would just play it for hours on end and keep on playing it. It's just such a fun game to play. Like I just loved playing that particular game. So the next game after that, that kind of had like the biggest resounded with me the most, would have been after that Spider-Man 2 on PlayStation 2 at the time. Now, I wasn't really big into adventure games. Like, I had some certain experience with kind of like adventure, kind of like open world games, and my first kind of real experience with that would have been Legends of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and I liked Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I thought it was a sick game at the time on the N64. Like, I really appreciated it, very much enjoyed it. I found the whole kind of like bit of it and all that sort of stuff like very fun to play around with. But it wasn't like the greatest thing. And then also like once I played that, and then I went and played what was it called? Hit this guy in the back.
Bomb has been spotted.
Oh, let's go around.
No enemies remaining.
Oh,
Well
that was
done.
good, wasn't it? Sorry, I had to concentrate there. I wanted to make sure I got those two down. The next game that I played was then I got Majora's Mask of Legend of Zelda, and that really kind of like left a bit of a bitter kind of pill in a way, because I just hated the whole premise of it. But then when Spider-Man 2 came out and I got that, and it was open world, like I was so in love with that game. It made me really kind of like start liking adventure games again, and the main reason why was just because you could literally do whatever you wanted. It didn't matter what you did, as long as you just kind of did everything normally. It was like pretty good, pretty sick game in all fairness. Like, come on. Oh, I got one down. I think I'm gonna die here. Yeah, it was just the whole idea of it. I mean, it resulted in me eventually doing a complete speed run of the game. I literally did the entire game in about 12 hours, which was just ridiculous at that time. I couldn't believe I actually did it that far. Like, I didn't 100% it, but I did like just the whole story in pretty much a day. It was crazy how quickly it took me to do that. I was really surprised at how quickly I did the entire game from that point of view. And that's the only game I've ever really done something like that with before. Like, it was just crazy. And yeah, it was quite weird how, I consider that to be kind of like one of the ones with the lasting impression, but it just was, because at the time I, like I said, never done anything like that before. But that was the first game where I'd ever kind of just like, was like, I'm gonna do this and I'm just gonna go for it hard. Like, I played it like 3 or 4 times, completed the story and everything. I think I eventually like did all the side quests, all the kind of like additional things that you had to do as well. Like, that was the first time I really did anything like that. So yeah, from that point of view, it was quite crazy that it had such a big impression on me. Oh, they dropped the bomb there as well. Yeah, and then that now leads me on to PlayStation 3, and this is actually probably one of the most important games for me at the time, and remains as such for a very long time to come, and that is Call of Duty Modern Warfare. So I kind of touched on it last time out about me and my best friend Jerome. He introduced me to Modern Warfare. I'd never played it before, never really had like was never really big into games like that or anything. But then we started playing Modern Warfare together, and it was like amazing. I've never played anything like it before, and I would go around his house and we would play on his Xbox 360, and we would just get together and just play Modern Warfare together, and like it was crazy fun. We had a lot of fun playing that game, and eventually I just picked it up on my PlayStation 3. He ended up converting to PlayStation 3 after his Xbox 360, and we were just playing online together, and from it like we had like a clan, and you know, we started doing the same on like World at War and Modern Warfare 2. They were like our biggest kind of like games that we would play at the time. Like they were just like everything that we would do was just those two things. It was great. Like had a lot of fun with it. So
This is what I do.
it was just like a great time. We ended up having like a clan. We called ourselves like the KGZs. I think it stood for either Killer Gods or Clipper Gods, one of the two. I can't remember because we haven't like done anything like that in such a long time. But at the time when we did it, it was like amazing. So like we had a lot of fun doing that, and that was kind of like one of the defining moments, you know, of my time playing games and enjoying games. Like it was just ridiculous, the sort of stuff that we were able to do at the time in that particular game. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So yeah. Oh my word. Sorry, that was I was like, I saw him on the map, so I got the little kind of like see-through on the map. I just had to check where he was. That's another good round win actually.
Repositioning to attack.
After that, the next kind of significant game for me that kind of got me back into again just enjoying adventure games is Uncharted. Again, another friend kind of talked to me about Uncharted. I was never really like big on adventure games because some of them I just found a bit like tedious, a little bit boring, you know, and they were never really my thing. Like literally it got to a stage at one point where my gaming library just was FIFA games and wrestling games, and that was about it. That was like the most I would go for. I may get the odd Spider-Man game here or there or something else, you know, but normally you'll just see me rocking up with just FIFA or wrestling, and that was it. And then like during that era, Call of Duty was a bit of a staple by then as well, obviously, as we touched on previously. And Uncharted by Naughty Dog pretty much got me right into adventure games again. They were so well done. All the action and adventure parts, you know, like the puzzles with the action sequences, you know, like the quick button sequences and all that sort of stuff were just really great, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Follow through the whole series, like from that all the way to what was it, 4? I think it was 4. Yeah, up to 4. And I just really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. Had a lot of enjoyment with that particular game, and yeah, just found my love for that sort of genre again. And that kind of brings up nicely to the next game that kind of held a significance and kind of got me into like the role-playing genre of games, and that would be Fallout New Vegas. Now Fallout New Vegas was the first kind of game that I came across personally just by doing a couple of things myself. So essentially how it came to be was that I was just checking out, you know, different gaming websites at the time, like IGN and all that sort of stuff. Well, get out of the way. Checking out like IGN and stuff, and there was this new game called Fallout New Vegas, and I was just like checking out videos on it, and I just seriously loved it, and I just thought, oh, this is going to be the one, you know. So kind of got with it and all that sort of stuff. And was really having a lot of fun with that particular game, watching that particular game. So I went out one day, on the day it came out, and I went all the way into my local game shop and I picked it up. I picked up a copy, went home, and that was it. I was playing that game for an age, an absolute age. thoroughly enjoyed playing that game. It's like one of the, it's just like, I can't really explain about it what made it so fascinating. I think one, because of just the open worldness of it, and just how all the storylines, like there are so many different ways the entire thing can kind of like be played out, you know, even like the main story within it had different ways of ending. And from there on in, like role-playing games was so big to me. Like I was just like, oh wow, this is actually really, really good. This is something that I kind of like want to try out, you know. It's never been something that I'd really thought about before until then. So I was like, oh okay, this seems like something that's worth giving a go. So from then on, like I was just playing that and really enjoying it, and I couldn't really quite believe that, you know, that particular game really got me into those sort of things. So I was like mad surprised when I kind of like got into those sort of games and just got so immersed with them, you know. Like the whole idea of those sort of role-playing games is just ridiculous to me at the time. He's in here. There we go. And he's done. That's pretty good going. Yeah, so Fallout New Vegas to me was just like such a great game, and really got me into that particular genre. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I think I completed it about 3 or 4 times. The irony, actually, the funny thing about that was a game I also managed to get my dad involved in as well. Like he really liked it as well, because my dad was big into Dungeons and Dragons when he was a kid, right? Well, when he was younger, university days, I guess. And he kind of like was into, you know, like the RPGs of like Baldur's Gate and Neverwinter Nights, I think, or Tales or something like that, and all those sort of things, which I wasn't really like, I never really dealt with, you know, before. So to me, I was just like, oh okay, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. So I was like, okay, this is something that I probably should be interested in playing. So gave it a go, thoroughly showed him it, and thought like, yeah, oh, like, here you go, like, see what you think of this. And he looked at it and he proper enjoyed it. So I managed to get him hooked on Fallout, and we both were like playing different Fallout games from there on. It was like, it was crazy. Like he was playing Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 3, played Fallout 3 before I played Fallout 3, both played Fallout 4 at the exact same time. It was just kind of nice that I kind of like, he kind of got me into gaming, and then towards the end of where we are right now, it's just really cool that he got me into gaming at the start, and then like I got him into a certain genre of games as well. And you know, it's kind of nice to see that come like full circle, where, you know, your dad kind of, he might not have willingly or knowingly got me into gaming, but he kind of helped start that kind of gaming buzz. And then at the same time, I kind of was able to find him something that he would enjoy and get him like fully into the gaming buzz, because, you know, like it's kind of nice to have that kind of relationship with my dad in that sense. So that was pretty cool. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave your comments below. Let me know exactly what games were most influential to you. Also leave your comments about what games I said were influential to me. You know, it'd be interesting to hear your thoughts and opinions. Don't forget also to suggest other topics that you want me to talk about, as well as other games that you want me to play. I know we only really got to see me play one game on this today, but I've definitely had a lot of fun with it, and you know, I might play this a bit more while talking about different topics in the future. But until next time, please remember to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Also smash that like button, and I'll check you guys out. Laters.